Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Binch Bros podcast. I am your host, Kyo.
And I'm Sejun.
And welcome to our video game podcast where we pretty much set a game that we play for the week and then review them pretty much the next podcast. This week we had Quantum Break, but we couldn't get it to work, really.
So the thing is, it's I guess it's like a technical like technical powerhouse or something. It's like a strong, it's like a it's kind of newer. So on my rig, it runs, but I don't know, something's weird with like the lighting system or something. So like as it runs, like there's segments of the game where all of the the lighting and shading goes away, and instead the game is replaced with like this rainbow colored,
it's like Technicolor stuff, like just a whole bunch of what's it, like pink.
There's like
green,
pinks
yellows.
and greens. Yeah, it's like really distracting, and I couldn't find any setting to like optimize. Even if I would lower settings, like it wouldn't really make a difference. It was like,
and it would go back to normal for a bit too, right? But then it would switch back like almost quick, like right away.
Yeah, it was like clearly points in the environment that I couldn't like go over, or else it would like change. It was a really strange thing that I couldn't find help on, and then it pretty much wasn't optimized at all for PC, and we got on there because it was on sale. But that's what it seemed like. We looked into it, and it didn't really have a great launch for PC, and I don't know how much of it was patched, and if it was, it didn't really help my situation out. Yeah,
and then we tried to we try to do the whole Steam broadcasting thing or whatever, to where like June could see me, but then we fell into a whole different like agenda or a different like technical difficulty, because then June would pretty much just like see the audio from when
the audio
my character was doing stuff. It was just off.
And then
it was just a mess.
Kyo also decided not to play it.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because
I'll probably pick it up like for like Xbox One, because I know my friend has it. I could see about borrowing it, but I mean, like it was already like Thursday or whatever, or Friday. We tried to do it, and we had a podcast the next day. It wasn't going to be enough time.
Yeah, and it turns out we didn't. But like, it's ironic because I was listening to another podcast, and they were mentioning games you like. How long do you usually give a game before you realize like whether you want to drop it or not?
Yeah.
And one of the people were talking about how he played Quantum Break all the way through to the end, even though from the beginning he didn't want to. Yeah. Like he said, like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like this game. Mm-hmm. He played it all the way anyway, just because he wanted
just finish it.
No, he wanted like a stronger leg to stand on when he could like talk about that stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, that doesn't really make me want to play the game. Yeah. I haven't, like, watched any gameplay footage of it since it came out. I remember at the time, I was like, oh, yeah, this game looks, like, pretty cool. It's, like, kind of like Max Payne or something. But, like, I don't know. That's fine. Whatever. It's got actors in it, which I think is kind of weird. Like, interesting, I guess. Like, Until Dawn does a similar thing, and I like it. And Until Dawn... there's some other games that have the like, what was that one? LA Noire was always really weird looking. Yeah, I didn't like the look of the faces on the bodies.
They really like put a whole bunch of their budget onto that like face recognition.
Yeah, and that was like an older game, so like I could see it. Yeah, like it's cool because like Max Payne 3 came out after LA Noire. Yeah, and doesn't have the hyper realistic like face sculpting, like face filming thing that Eleanor has.
Yeah.
And it looks much better for it, I think, like without having that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should have just done that. But yeah, we're pretty much just not doing Quantum Break, and that kind of sucks that like the podcaster you were talking about he didn't enjoy his time, right? He wanted to like quit like early, but it was too late, I guess.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
But yeah, I mean, like that's like the first weird hitch that we hit during this remedy retrospective look type of thing. I mean, it was never going to be a comprehensive look anyway, because we weren't going to do that card game, that violent card game or whatever that they did, Death Race or something, Death Rally. So it didn't really matter, but like, I mean, from the sounds of things, Quantum Break seems to be maybe similarly to Alan Wake and Max Payne, one of those games that's like not necessarily universally beloved, but like gets a following, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a little hard because I think Max Payne 1 is a little more of a Hallmark game, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember picking that up when they were in like cereal boxes back when that was a thing. Like,
what?
It gave like cereal boxes like
Max Payne though?
Yeah, I remember like they gave you like demo discs of like video games, and I think Max Payne was one of them.
That game's like a really dark, like M-rated game though.
I mean, I don't know, man. I just remember. I definitely remember playing it.
But from a cereal box, that's intense.
Maybe it was, but I just remember cereal box demos were a thing.
That's like getting a Bazooka Joe, like, you know, wrapper, and like getting, you know, hey, here's the, you know, episode of Game of Thrones, you know, or something. It's like, oh, that's
well, yeah, that would be pretty intense. Like,
yeah, it's like
M-rated.
Don't let your kids, you know, play this. I mean, like, I don't know. It's like nowadays, it actually is still dark. Like, I remember that game being like, do you know the setup of Max Payne? Like the premise,
I honestly don't.
Okay, I guess I won't say it,
from what you told me, he's like
a
detective or whatever, right?
Yeah, he's a policeman.
Or yeah.
It's like, yeah, for sure. We're gonna play it next week, so we're gonna play that game and Max Payne 2, right?
Yeah. That's gonna be for next week. So, and I'm pretty sure Max Payne 1 and 2 are gonna be. I'm pretty sure those are optimized enough for us to like not have to.
Yeah.
Mess with it.
And right? I mean, honestly, like Max Payne 1, 2, and 3 are games I have played before. I'm excited to go back to them. But like, I like remember like secrets about the. You know what I mean? Like I remember I remember like if you like actually go off the beaten path here, you can get, you know, an Easter egg and like more health and fun, whatever.
Yeah. Love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should talk about a little bit about Max Payne. Well, I don't know. See, the thing with Max Payne, right? The reason I picked it up, like the demo, was because like it kind of reminded me of the Matrix game. Do you remember the Matrix like games or whatever?
Well, it came out. Matrix? Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like similar to the Matrix a lot in terms of its action sequences. It's like John Woo movies and the Matrix. You know, that was like. What, Matrix came out in 1999, Max Payne came out in like 2000 or 2001.
Yeah.
Like, it's the height of that era of bullet time.
Time, yeah.
And so, like, and Max Payne's got really impressive tech that, like, you know, it's still, like, if you consider, like, you know, cool things that you did in cool things in video games, like, the idea of bullet time in Max Payne is a really cool thing. Like, I think the interesting thing about that is, if I'm not mistaken, like in the game, your bullets are hit scan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you hit bullet time, they become projectiles.
Projectile? Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I remember thinking about, like, I remember reading about something like that. And, like, so, like, or when you, because, like, I don't know if you, like, if you're just shooting, it might not be projectiles, or if they are, like, but because, like, once you, like, go into bullet time, you see the bullets, right? Like, and then like you can actually pause the game at any point, and like the camera will just like float around.
Yeah,
and you can like zoom in on bullets and stuff. And you see that they're like modeled, like, or I don't know if they're sprites or I think they're models, but they're like, you know. And then there's like moments in the game where like if you like have like a sniper rifle, I think, and you shoot someone with it, like in the head, like the camera follows the bullet to the person, you know.
Oh, the classic like Sniper Elite kind of thing where it just like follows the bullet and like goes through their head or whatever.
Yeah, it'll like follow this like modeled bullet, you know.
Cool. Yeah. I don't remember that. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a really like crazy thing at the time, and I mean it still is kind of crazy. Not every game does that, so you know, like Overwatch doesn't. Not every single bullet's modeled, you know, or like I'm trying to think of like another game like.
Another game that messes with bullet time that's like recent is like ARMS, and it's Twintella. Like she kind of like messes with time around her.
Twintel.
What did I say? Twintella? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, and those are much more slow moving projectiles, but in ARMS. But there was that one game, Fear. Do you remember the game Fear for like the 360 generation? PlayStation 3?
I think I remember, yeah.
There's a horror game. It was like a shooter.
Yeah.
But it had like ghosts and stuff, and that game had bullet time that you could control like in Max Payne.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it's like definitely like an influential game. It's got its own influences.
Yeah.
You know, like from everything from pulp, gritty, you know, hard-boiled detective novels, you know, that it's like taking the story cues and tone from. Like the writing's very like descriptive and melodramatic, and like in kind of a knowing way. It's almost a comedy because of it's self-aware, but at the same time it's like
of itself.
Yeah, but it plays it straight, which is great. So like it'll be like, I don't know, like a line will be like, you know, the moon was a blood red mistress staring down on an ocean of debauchery. You know, hell was a few feet away from me. I readied my gun. Yeah, weird, like, you know, like, it's great. Yeah. It's like very pulpy. I don't know.
So almost like how Alan Wake played then, like whenever he like walked around then, and like he's just like quoting the words from his like.
Yeah, I think it's even wordier than Alan Wake for sure, because Alan Wake is like a guy who's like really self-aware of his own writing, and you know it's about like writing as a concept. And Max Payne is definitely just more of a straight shot story about you know, revenge or whatever. But like during that story, like the way that story is told like you're watching a Humphrey Bogart movie or something, and the narration's just this really like it's just like it's cliche, right? But it's like cliche in a knowing way. It's good. It's nice. I don't know how it'll work. Like going back to it, I remember it being like funny even when I was younger. Like when I was super young, I played it for the first time. I was like, this game's cool. And then like I started watching the movies, and like that was in the genre, and like I started knowing more about things, and I was like, oh, it's totally just like a reference to all that stuff. And I was like, nice. Yeah, that's actually funny. It's like, because like, you know, I mean, Max Payne, you know, throughout the game, Max Payne kills so many bad guys, and like, the greatest hard-boiled cop in like, you know, noir fiction, like probably kills like 5 people in their story or something at the most, you know, if even at all, you know, if they even kill anyone. And it's like, I don't know, it is funny. It is very there's always that disconnect in video games, but like, I mean, Max Payne is a dude who's like, you are, I don't think you ever question him killing the bad guys. It's not like Nathan Drake or something in Uncharted where you're like, I'm supposed to like Nathan Drake, but he kills like 500 people in this game. Like he killed like 500 people in this game. Like
but you don't really question it too much when
not even just the guys who are like shooting at him. Like he'll like snap someone's neck from behind and stuff. You know, and it's like that's not likable. You know, you don't feel. Yeah. I don't know. Have you ever played Uncharted games?
I haven't.
That's thing that they like obviously had to work on as people, because I'm not the first person, and nor is this the first time even I'm speaking about this. But like you know, the ludonarrative disconnect between supposed to having a likable, nice guy protagonist, and that protagonist
just doing like terrible
slaughtering
things.
Just like killing even if they're bad guys, just killing people by the hundreds is still like
it's pretty bad.
It's very disagreeable, right?
Like, nice. That's definitely not a nice or good thing to do.
And the cool thing about like Uncharted 4, I remember, because he had this. Nathan Drake used to have this one stealth kill animation that was like way over the top, man. It was like
it's so very like brutal.
So basically, it's like if there was like a piece of cover that you were hiding behind, and there was a dude on the other side of it, he would like yank the guy over the cover, right?
Yeah.
And he would take his elbow and he'd just drop his elbow right on the guy's neck. And I was like, oh gosh. God. You know what I mean? Like he's like killing this person like in such a like that's such a violent move, right? Like just dropping your elbow on someone's neck. And they changed that move over time. Like I don't think he does that really intense, snapping move. He'd like, I don't know, maybe he'll like knock him, he'll like hit them and it looks like he knocked them out or something. You know what I mean?
Right. The classic like just easy not kill.
He always did that move in Uncharted 2 where like if you stealth kill someone from behind, he'd like just jump on their back and like they'd struggle and he'd snap their neck. And it's like I get it when Joel from Last of Us is like strangling someone to death. It's like he is strangling someone to death. He's a killer. In a way that like I believe Joel to be a killer. I don't feel a disconnect when I play as him killing people because I think he would kill someone. You know what I mean? I think Joel would not have many problems killing someone he thought was in his way between his goal, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like Nathan Drake, I don't feel that way. But Max Payne, I also feel similarly to Joel. He would totally just kill someone who's in his way,
Yeah.
Which is ironic because he's a cop.
Yeah.
He should probably not.
Like enforce the law. Yeah. I thought you mentioned that he was like an ex-cop or something, or was it just...
Well, I mean, we can play the first... whatever, I'll just set the premise of the first game, okay?
Sure.
Do you mind,
sure.
I guess?
You're
gonna play it. No, just play it.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. If anything, we'll definitely talk about that next week or whatever. Yeah. We should definitely probably talk about games that we played this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Because next week we are gonna do both Max Payne 1 and 2.
Yeah, and then the week after is 3, which you played on that too, right?
I have played Max Payne 3. It's been a while. This is the one I played the least amount of, just because it's the only one I didn't have on PC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about those next week then. Yeah, I do want to mention, because I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's already been heard throughout the podcast already. But I get this week I went to like Evo and I got real hype. And I guess I was screamed, yelled, shouted, whatever, a little too loud. So now my throat is a little, as you say, hoarsed. So
why don't you tell the good people what you like about fighting games?
Just the excitement of like being the like all odds are against you, and then you have to like try to beat this guy.
So all odds are against everyone?
All odds are against like just this one person, I guess. This is specifically
Who is the person?
Salem. This is Smash 4.
Salim Young, right? Is that his name?
I'm not sure what his real name is. I just know the player name. Yeah. But he it was like Smash 4. He plays Bayonetta, and to what I can understand, and to what I've like gathered from like one of our friends is that Bayonetta is like the easiest person you could play as, and it's basically like playing like Bastion.
Really
Overwatch.
interesting, because I don't know if like I've heard Bayonetta be considered like a tier,
like easy. Yeah,
like no,
yeah,
I mean
yeah,
like no, I'm
like
easy
Diddy
or
Kong
not.
whatever,
Like
right?
if someone's playing Bastion, like I bet if you look at the top players in Overwatch, their like most played character isn't Bastion. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
just
that's
someone
probably not.
seems cheap to like early game, or like like got good like early level matchups doesn't mean like like there's usually like a lot of strategies against people like that. Like trying to think like zoning characters in video games, like like Deathstroke, right, in Injustice 1 or Deadshot in Injustice 2, like they're like they rank in tier lists for sure, they're like, but they're not like number one. I think someone who's like considered cheap, it's gonna be hard for them to rank number one because like
it's easy. Like even though they're easy to play, right? They might have like a really big flaws or like openings and weaknesses.
I just think people, if someone's in the meta, a lot of people have a lot of chance to build formulas around them.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas like someone who's a little more
like technical and like harder to
master. Like usually the high tier characters are characters who like have a lot more available options to them, and the way they balance them is like maybe they make their inputs more complicated to pull off. Like I always think of like Dead or Alive has what's his name, Ryu Hayabusa, who's like Izuna drop is like it's weird, finger
like combo
mashing
press,
like it's like you have to really know what you're doing. Or like we're talking about fighting games right now, right?
Yeah.
I do want to bring this up.
Sure.
Last night, like I haven't gotten much sleep before recording this. Okay, and like a big part of that is me and my friend Erica. We were playing Street Fighter for hours. Street Fighter 4. I just downloaded Street Fighter 4 off of like no reason. I just had like
you just said like you were like flipping between like never mind, I won't get it. You know what? Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, I was just like flipping. Ultra Street Fighter 4, right? Like I played that game before. I have it on PlayStation 3. I own it still on PlayStation 3. Like, do I want to, ever
just buy it again?
Yeah, like what I mean, like I can't play PlayStation 3 games right now. Like unless I plug in all my, it's just like
hook it all up.
And it costs like 20 something. It's like I could spend that on a new game, but instead I wanted to do Ultra, and so I hopped in. Erica was like, "Oh yeah, like can I like play that?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we screen share. We end up playing for like 5 hours straight. Like we just like don't even notice.
You guys are just she's like share playing with you and everything. I was like, what the heck?
It's great. By the way, that share play functionality is really great for fighting games.
Yeah, it's fun.
But so like playing that game made me realize also another cool thing about playing Street Fighter 4 was like I'm better at Street Fighter 4 today than I was when I first got Street Fighter 4. Yeah, because like I just like I would try to learn like some things, here and there, but I was like very much looking at Street Fighter 4 through the eyes of Street Fighter, right? Like I'd played Street Fighter 3, I'd played like these games. I guess like I was looking at it from these rules. Nowadays, fighting games are just like part of my DNA. Okay, like every fighting game I've played like adds to my like arsenal of like tools,
knowledge.
Like so every like when I go into Injustice, I take years of everything from Marvel to Darkstalkers to Mortal Kombat, everything with me to Injustice, and it's like not every one of those rules apply. Injustice isn't like this like super juggle heavy like long combo string game, but like you still like bring some of that stuff with you, whereas like and then like along with other games. And so like recently a big fighting game I've been playing a lot was Skullgirls, the Lab Zero game. And they're coming out with their game Indivisible soon, so it's like I was just like
sick.
Love the way they do art. Like if you like 2D art in video games, like Skullgirls is definitely like a good game to look at, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and then it's a really solid fighting game. It
looks very polished. Like when you mentioned, like when we were watching like gameplay back in Anime Expo, with like shading and everything, and just the way that animation looks, it's just like it's
that's the interesting thing. There's dynamic lighting in that game.
Yeah,
it's not like it's 2D,
it's not just like
but
a flat color scheme or whatever, right? It's
the look is perfect in that game, but like even more so than like how good it looks is that it plays really well. Like the systems that they designed around it is kind of like it's a tag fighter, but it doesn't have to be. It's about juggles and like, you know, resets, and it's a very technically like demanding fighting game compared to something like Injustice, which is, I mean, I'm not downplaying Injustice. I think that game can get very technical, but it's like I think a beginner has a lot easier of a time picking up something like Injustice than they do something like Skullgirls, which is like in its DNA, it has like years of like Marvel games and like Street Fighter and whatever, all these like different Arc System Works games. It's got like elements of Guilty Gear, etc. And like and it's a love letter to fighting games while being an amazing fighting game. I think it's like one of my favorite fighting games like ever made. I love Skullgirls. It's got a pretty small roster of characters, right? But they're like all really fun. Like it's like anyway. But the point I was getting at by even bringing up Skullgirls in the first place is it's a love letter to fighting games. There's a moment there's a move that one of the characters, Squiggly, has, which is a riff on Akuma's classic Raging Demon Ultra combo. Yeah. Like, which is which you need a lot. So like it's a tough move to pull off usually. Okay, you usually need full meter in a Street Fighter game or like something like that equivalent. And in Skullgirls, like the thing is Squiggly has like she needs 5 bars of meter, and she has these like 2 different charges that she can like load up a charge basically, and you can use that move later. And so you need both of the 2 separate charges and 5 bars of meter, and then you have to do input, which is low punch, forward, low kick, high punch, right? Yeah. Which that's always the Raging Demon input: low punch, forward, low kick, high punch. And I got really good at doing that in Skullgirls. And I'd never been able to do that with Akuma, Yeah. And then so like when me and Erica are playing Ultra, we're playing Street Fighter 4 last night, and I pick up Akuma. I'm like, wait a minute, I can do Raging Demon now. Like I can just this move I couldn't do when I was younger because I would like I would choke or like it's like you have to. It's like
hard to remember.
Yeah, because everyone else's like moves is like basically quarter circle twice and all the kick buttons. That's how you do your Ultra. Like Raging Demon's like it's like a cheat code almost. You're putting it in like and it's like it's a weird move. He like slides across the screen and he does a grab basically. Yeah. And I don't know. It's like all of a sudden I'm pulling off Raging Demons with like consistency. Yeah. And that's in a fighting game that I like I can do that now. I couldn't do that back then. It's thanks to another fighting game from a different series. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's like I love stuff like that. Like I'm sure like Smash has stuff that like you play Smash for a bit and get to know its systems, and then like that'll help you play
because since like
some other fighting game.
Since like Ryu's in it, like I feel like if you were to like to what I understood when he came out, like he has similar inputs from like Street Fighter, right?
Right.
So you could probably like do that as well,
and which is also interesting when like there's like characters who break that game's rules, right? Yeah. Because like Ryu, like in order to do his like Dragon Uppercut, you probably instead of hitting up an A or whatever, you're probably hitting like that Dragon Uppercut motion, the Z motion, and then A or something, right? Yeah. That is interesting and weird.
I feel because we were talking about like the more technical it is, the higher possible chance for it to be like God tier or whatever, right? So I would think that Ryu would probably be like in that God tier, but what's surprising is I didn't see that. I saw like Cloud and like obviously Bayonetta, and like it's interesting to see that like Ryu wasn't in there.
Well, I think Ryu's probably even more limited by his Street Fighter like roots than someone like Bayonetta.
Yeah,
like because Bayonetta in the game Bayonetta, she is like one of the key ideas about Bayonetta, which is a game we're gonna do on the podcast.
Oh hell yeah! I totally forgot about that too.
Well, one of the fun. Really cool things about her is like, you know how. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about something called animation priority. Okay. And you know Dark Souls, right?
Yeah.
When you commit to a swing, you have to commit to that swing. You know, you have to commit to the whole arc of the swing. Yeah, right? Like, your animation's not going to stop until that hammer gets to its destination, or that axe gets to its destination. Right? Or you get hit out of it. Sometimes, even if you get hit, you'll still keep going.
Yeah.
You can't second guess. You can't bail out of situations in Dark Souls. Bayonetta is the 180 degrees other way. You know what I mean? It's everything about Bayonetta can be canceled into her trademark dodges. You know what I mean? So, and like that's part of the mechanic of the game. There's a mechanic called dodge offset. So, Bayonetta, you know, let's do a simple 5-string combo: punch, 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 punch. Okay, if she has her, you know, whatever weapons she has equipped, that's like that string is gonna have different moves, but like it's still gonna be a 5-hit combo, right?
Yeah.
But Bayonetta can dodge at any point during that combo, like before the animation ends, to get out of danger, right? But the thing about Bayonetta, which I'm pretty sure they incorporate in Smash, they have to because it's so part of her kit, is if you're holding down the button while you dodge, your combo doesn't end. So usually if you tap, 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 right, for 5 punches, but like on the third punch, you dodge and then you know, hit the punch.
Whoa. Hold on. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh man, that sounds really bad.
What happened?
Okay, well, we're back. I guess we had some technical difficulties with Mike. Apparently, June's mic totally broke mid podcast. That kind of sucks.
It's totally fine because whatever I had to say about Bayonetta and fighting games, like that was just gonna be a tangent, and like I don't need to go down that path right now. We'll talk about Bayonetta when we get to Bayonetta.
Yeah. I guess we should continue on, right? Kind of from what we
gotta talk about
so, like,
the real
like
game, right?
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna finish off my Evo thing, and I just like watched that, and that's pretty much why my voice is like this. I screamed a lot towards the end. I got real hyped.
I'm pretty sure somehow. For the listeners, it's gonna sound very different from me on my end now. From the first half of the podcast, all I can say is, for the foreseeable future, until I can get, I have another mic, but it's currently being used by someone else. Maybe if I can get that back from them. Yeah, it's a better quality mic than this mic, you know, my laptop mic. Maybe I can get that mic set up.
We'll see. We'll see. We could probably, GoFundMe, one of those Kickstarter things.
I definitely don't need that because I do have a mic, but it's not available to me as of this recording.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, you should be fine. This is what happens, in a podcast settings. I feel like these things just happen because of smile and keep the show going, right?
You mean the show must go on?
The show must go on. That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Smile and keep the show going.
Yeah. I feel like there's another saying, but whatever.
Keep calm and carry on.
Maybe that. But yeah, so other games that we played. I mean, I played like Shadows of Mordor, and that's like a recent game that I played.
You finished it.
Yeah, I finished it. It's interesting because I think I enjoyed it. The Nemesis system and everything. It was hard for me to like get into it when I didn't. I thought in the beginning like you were able to control people or whatever.
You
Or
are,
control
aren't
like
you?
warlords or whatever.
Oh, you mean like as like you get full control of their movements and stuff?
Yeah. But like that was like later on.
You don't get
Uh,
full control ever. Like it's just they're in your team.
yeah. Well, I meant yeah. I just meant like capturing or branding
Oh,
like warlords or whatever.
gotcha.
That's kind of it was actually kind of fun. It was very simple, the combat style and everything. And I think I might actually pick up Shadow of War.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll probably play that.
I play for Brutes, if anything, because like he seems pretty sick, and
You
I'm
probably
I'm
won't
kind
get
of
Bruce.
afraid. Yeah, you probably won't get him.
Yeah, because that was that generated
Just
one.
just yeah. But what I'm hoping is that like all the other like orcs or whatever are like that, and that'll be sick.
Yeah, if there's another good one like Bruce, it would be cool.
Yeah, or anything like a different dynamic or whatever too. Like not so much like comedic or whatever. That'd be great.
He's a troll, right? And I think
Uh,
in or Lord of the Rings, the first one, you can only do orcs
yeah, yeah,
like as your generals and stuff.
yeah.
He's like
But
a
yeah,
troll, yeah.
yeah. I might pick it up. Other than that, what was it? Neo.
Let's talk about Nioh.
Yeah. So we're not gonna talk too much, obviously, about like Neo's like story, I guess, whatever. We'll just talk a little bit about it, right? Because like it's actually a fun game.
So
It
I
is.
put in, I looked at the play clock. I put in like 80 something hours into it already.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
a lot.
You're trying to get you. Oh, I was gonna mention the glory points thing, but I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
that's a big part
Did that
of
go
it.
too deep into it?
Well, okay, so basically, it's well, I guess we should start off by saying what type of game it is.
Yeah.
We've talked about Nioh before. Neither Keo nor I have played it up until recently. It was
Yeah.
released in February, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the early games of this year that people were like, "This is a contender. This is a game of
Yeah.
the year contender." And I was at that point, I was like, I'm sure it's great. Um,
Yep.
and guess what? It is.
Yep.
It's a game by Team Ninja. Of Tecmo or not Tecmo. Like Dead or Alive. They did Ninja Gaiden. It's their game, and they are doing their take on the Souls-like genre with Nioh, and it's plays plays very similarly to Dark Souls in a lot of ways, but it also plays
Mm-hmm.
similarly to other games like Ninja Gaiden maybe. But
Yeah.
the biggest similarity between Dark Souls and Nioh is that it's got that sort of stamina management system and
Yeah.
unforgiving combat, kind of like you make too many
Yeah.
mistakes and you'll die. And then it
Yeah.
also has this soul system, sort of called Amrita, where you collect a currency to level up your experience and stuff. And when you die, you drop that currency until you can retrieve it again.
Yeah.
The thing about Nioh that's different is it's that's not first of all, that's not the only currency. There's also gold, which is abundant. You just get gold all the time, and that's for all your shopping needs. And then there's glory, which is another special currency, which is for specific customization options, like
Yeah. It's mostly
cosmetics.
like cosmetic.
Well, it's
Yeah.
also for that like legendary.
Drop loot box
Yeah,
kind of
it's
thing,
like a
right?
randomly generated weapon that you can unlock. With glory, be like, hey, like
Yeah.
spend this much glory on this. It's like you get glory from doing multiplayer stuff. Like if you're helping someone out, or if you fight people in multiplayer, like everything gives you glory in the multiplayer aspect. And the other huge difference between Nioh and the Souls games is like I would say Demon Souls and like Dark Souls 2 and even Bloodborne, like they have elements of like levels, right? Like because or even like Dark Souls 3, Fire Link, it's like it is all interconnected in a way, but it's like, it's like sort of leveled out, it's not like Dark Souls 1 where it is just one long level,
Yeah.
But Nioh takes that one step further, and it is literally based on levels. Like it's like you have a main menu with a list of levels that you can choose from, and so each level each instance of gameplay takes place within this chunk of level, and the levels aren't that big. They're like
Nah.
I mean they're big, they're fairly big, but they're not like it's not like a world.
Yeah.
It's like this is the level of the game, and like Dark Souls, there's like plenty of opportunities for shortcuts and whatever.
Mm-hmm,
but unlike Dark Souls, you can replay these levels to your heart's content. Kind of, you can jump into like level 1 again and fight that level 1 boss or level 10. So that's like the biggest difference. And then I don't know. There's also this key. The stamina system's a little different. It's like
right, we pretty much it's called key pulse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much there's at a certain time after you expend your like stamina, you could press a button and you could get stamina back depending on when you activate that.
So how it works is you spend key and like picture like in a fighting game when you get hit, and then how like your health is red. And before it goes away, like how like there's like a bit of red health first, and then it goes away.
Yeah,
it's like that. There's a bit of white health first, but then that white health fills back up, or that white key line fills back up, and like your stamina won't start regenerating until that key line is filled back up. At which point it regenerates from where the line started, unless you hit R1 right when the line, like you hit R1 at any time when the line's filling up, and then you start regenerating from that point. So it's basically it's a way for you to focus down on where you're gonna like it's like it takes your attention away from the immediacy of everything else in order for you to maintain more stamina, which is dangerous but kind of fun. And also there's like that system gets pretty deep. There's like key pulse and switching and all that.
Yeah, and then there's like skills that you could pick up and everything, right?
Yeah.
What's interesting is like the fact that there's like a bit more things, because like I can't help but try to compare between like Dark Souls or like Bloodborne or whatever.
And so it's like a lot like Bloodborne. Remember in Bloodborne when you're fighting and you get hurt, and then you have that chance to like hit enemies
to get health. Like health and stuff.
It's kind of like that, but for key.
Yeah.
And instead of hitting enemies, you just have to time it thing.
Yeah.
But
what's well, the thing I was gonna mention was like at that just real quickly is that even though it's like it's there's like a little more things, like you got to build, like you use your emerita or emerita level up or whatever, that's all the same, but you end up getting like skill points that add into like specific weapons you want to use. It's actually a lot easier than Bloodborne or the Souls games.
Yeah, and you also take like significantly, like I think you William. That's another big thing. You don't create your own character; you play as William. And there's a story that it follows. But a big thing that's different from Dark Souls is William is he's still like you'll still get killed really fast if you fuck up, but like he could take a lot more damage than your typical Souls protagonist, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's really fun. It's great. It's I love the. In Dark Souls, every weapon has its own fighting style, and your fighting style is determined by which weapon you're holding. It doesn't even matter if it's like the level 1 weapon or if it's the level 10 weapon. It's all like you have all the moves unlocked for it from the beginning. In Nioh, it's not like that. It's like you have 5 types of weapons,
Mm-hmm.
Swords, dual swords, axes, um, Kusari Gama, which is a
Yeah, like
chain
the chain.
sickle,
Yeah.
and then a spear. Did I say
Mm-hmm.
spear? No, I didn't.
No, I don't think so.
And each of those weapons have their own move sets, and like so, no matter like if you pick up a spear that's like this like level 1 wooden spear, and then you pick up like a level 99 spear, both of those spears have the same move sets. The only difference is like what stats it'll have, and like effects due to the stats.
Yeah.
Like this one, has if you stab a yokai while he's down, it'll give you health back or etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
like a loot system very akin to like Borderlands or Diablo.
Yep.
A lot of
Yep.
like colored loot, which is pretty good. It's a good
Mm-hmm.
grind. It's fun. It's really fun. I like it.
It's like a mix. It's kind of like a mix of like a whole bunch of games. Like we would compare it to like Diablo or not even Diablo, Dark Souls and like Bloodborne. But then like as you said, like it's like similar with the loot system, everything like Borderlands, Diablo.
So
Uh,
it's not.
like a whole bunch
Yeah,
of
we're
others.
talking about how it's not a very original game, and I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't have to be because it's like ideas it's borrowing are good ideas, solid, and they're mixing. I guess the
Yeah.
originality comes in where it's mixing them, right? So it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's basically saying like, hey, we're gonna take what you like about Diablo's loot system and what you like, and that includes like it's got fun stuff like set matching. You match items of a set and you get extra buffs, stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
it's got that element to it, but the combat instead of Diablo's like shallow combat. No offense, Diablo. But it's like you're clicking on things in Diablo, whereas like
Yeah.
it's playing with Dark Souls combat basically, like that sort of like deliberate like. But it's also like it's not so deliberate, is it? Have you ever? You can
No.
cancel out of moves. I think in Nioh, you can dodge out of a thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I do that like frequently, but
Yeah,
I think you still there is some like it's lessened. Like you know how we were saying like there's like animation commitments.
yeah. It's not like quite
Basically,
Bayonetta.
it's more like it's definitely not quite Bayonetta either, right? It's more like it goes like 3/4 of the way, and then you could like dodge out. Like towards the end of the animation, I think you could like dodge and everything.
Also, like unlike Dark Souls, the range weapons do a lot of damage.
Ah,
They're,
yeah,
they're good, and another thing is magic is a really big part of it. So you get these guardian
right.
spirits.
Yeah,
They're basically like your devil trigger meter, your rage meter from God of War. You fill up a meter by fighting, and then you activate it, and then you get like invincibility and like super damage increase.
yeah.
Dark Souls never had anything like that.
No, definitely not.
It's definitely a game that makes you want to. It makes you feel stronger than you do in Dark Souls for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I'm having a great ton of fun with it. I like Dark Souls style, Bloodborne style, Soulsborne
yeah.
combat systems, and I
I'm
like.
really honestly like just the when we talked about it, and I was like me, I was just like afraid to like to play it because I was like, this is like a ripoff. This is a clone. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be Souls. It's not going to be Bloodborne. But you know, picking it up, it's like it's a good game. It's a good feeling. It has its own not charm. Yeah, it pretty much has its own charm. It's great.
Well, and I think
I'm glad that.
the big thing is like many games that copy Dark Souls copy it like to the letter.
Yeah.
And it copies like everything about Dark Souls. And this game, instead of copying everything about Dark Souls, it copies a lot from Dark Souls, but then it also copies a lot from a ton of other games. And it's
Yeah.
like this weird like
But it
hodgepodge of video
yeah,
games that you've played
and it
before.
works.
And it works. It's great. It's
Yeah,
a
it
cool
works.
video game on its own. Like I like Nioh. I haven't beaten it yet. I played a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it's
You played
fun.
much more than I did.
Yeah, it's like the PvP is fun. The main game's fun. It's much more accessible than Dark Souls. I think it's an easier game than Dark Souls.
Uh-huh.
100%. I don't think, which is funny because when I first played the demo of Nioh, I was like, oh, this is gonna be tough. And then like I played the actual game, and I was like, oh, it's because I didn't know what I was doing. But like once you learn what you're doing, it's like so much easier.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, I mean, dude, you can debuff bosses to like have their movement speed slowed down by like 75% or something. That move is OP. It makes every boss like a joke.
That move is crazy. I really need to pick up that. I haven't messed with that like that whole like magic system at all. And like when you showed it to me when we co-opted, I was like, damn, this is good. This is really good. And you pick that up.
Yeah, it's rad. Yeah, that game is rad.
Yeah.
I wanted to play. I didn't want to play any other games, so we could talk a lot about it. But
yeah.
And you were going to talk about Quantum Break.
Yeah, we could talk. Well, we could pretty much just go on with like the fighting stuff. We have a few minutes. We got like 10. We got like 10 more minutes left, so we could just talk about whatever.
I mean, like maybe we'll just play more of it. Like next week, we'll talk about Max Payne 1 and 2. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about Nioh too. Like, that's like,
we could probably
just because that's a more recent game.
Yeah, yeah. We could definitely. I don't see why we couldn't. We could definitely throw that into like one of the reviews that we're going to be doing this week and next week.
Yeah, and then I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'm really excited.
Splatoon.
Yeah,
Splatoon 2.
You want to talk about that? Have you played it?
Yeah, I actually played it with Jocelyn, and we ended up playing. Well, it kind of sucks though. First of all, was that we tried to play together for the Splatfest thing, which by the way, Cake won. What up, Team Cake? And nope, sorry, not Cake. I meant ice cream. What the hell what's going on with me? And I don't know what sucks about like the multiplayer kind of thing, specifically with Splatfest, I guess, is that you have to have a team of 4 in order to group up. You can't group up as 2 and then end up going in a team and people thrown in. And they all have to be in your friends list too.
So how'd you do it?
It kind of sucks. We ended up just like going on Twitter, Reddit, and then I ended up going on like what was it, Discord? Okay. And we just threw our and
you found 2 people willing to like pair up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think everyone else wanted to too. So like we just said like we just need 2 more people, and then someone replied, and we got their friend request. But I mean, like if this is gonna happen when the game actually comes out, I mean having their friend, having them as friends would probably work out because we could just like.
Could you talk to each other while you were playing?
No, definitely not. Well, wait, you mean like the other team too, or like the other group?
Your team members.
No. What's funny is that like the app thing, right?
Yeah, it hasn't come into play yet, right?
That actually just got released, and it's actually in like maintenance. It's in like maintenance right now. So once that's off, I think a lot of people are going to be on that.
So Splatoon 1 was really fun because, and I think a big part of why it was fun was because unlike Overwatch, where you're communicating with your team a lot, you can't really communicate in Splatoon because you don't have voice functionality. So you're just like kind of on your own to help the team. You know what I mean? So it's like you'll look at your map, you die or whatever, and you get the chance to like spawn somewhere on the map, right?
Yeah.
And so like you look for where it's, if you're green and there's pink, you look for where there's pink. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Yep.
And, you spawn in. And it's like weirdly
in Splatoon 1 you're able to just spawn wherever your team splatted at?
No, I think you spawn in on a teammate.
Okay.
Isn't that how it works?
Yes. That's how it worked in 2.
Yeah, you spawn it on a teammate. But like you see the map when you're dead, so you can like be like, oh, I should go there. Yeah. And then I don't know, do your own thing kind of basically, and then like you might, because it's not really about fighting, honestly. Like the fighting is
but that's like the same like with like Call of Duty or whatever when you're specifically playing like domination, which I don't even know if that's the game mode that like.
Well, I mean, like
esports does.
The only thing fighting does in Splatoon is it gives you takes them out of the equation for a minute. So
yeah,
they're not putting down
so you
paint.
cover more area.
That's it. Like, you don't get points for killing people or anything. You know what I mean? There's no.
You do kind of get like an area in which they are like on, and they like explode with your like color.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah. Other than that, you're definitely taking them out, like reducing their time to like cover your area.
Which is so like there's sniper rifles in that game, right? And like I always thought about like. Snipers play very differently in Splatoon than they would like in Call of Duty or Overwatch, you know?
Yeah,
you're like,
it's definitely weird.
Because you're shooting... Because most snipers in video games wait for their shot, but in Splatoon you have to always be shooting, you know?
Yeah. If you're not shooting, you're pretty much like throwing the game. If you're not covering area, you're pretty much like not participating at all.
That's why, I mean, I like the paint roller, because it's basically like I'm moving and covering ground, you know?
Yeah.
Or like...
Yeah. There's never a time when you're not like covering ground, basically.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I played like a shotgun. But that's cool. I'm like glad you played Splatoon. You never played the first
like
one.
It is really fun. When I played like the what was it, the test fire or whatever, it was fun. Like just playing that and just playing with like the different weapons. Which it was the same thing for this situation too. You only had the 4, like the sniper rifle, the assault or splat gun, like the regular assault rifle gun or whatever they call it, and then they had the dualies and the roller. Yeah.
Do you get to do customization on your character?
You did actually,
like you got to wear hats and like different clothes and hairstyles.
It's more hairstyles and like eye color and pant.
Oh wait,
style.
So you don't unlock new hairstyles? You can just have them.
I think. Yeah, well, like you were actually able to like go into like the stores and everything, but they would say like you have to level up. But the only way you could was like through like regular match, and the only thing we could have played was like Splatfest.
Right.
So, but I don't know. Yeah, it was really fun. I'm really liking the dualies. They're pretty good, and just like this is the first time I've played like Splatoon, other than the time when I played for like 2 or 3 games when me and Justin were living together. I played that, and like it's really fun. I like the mechanic of like throwing like paint down and then like turning into a squid or whatever, and that's obviously like the main mechanic in Splatoon where you have to reload. And just that, and then you just speed up and everything. You can use it to hide, and it's just fun. It's a lot of fun, and playing it with another person, and like because me and Jocelyn and just all of us play like Overwatch, and we say these the giving away enemy positions and stuff. Like we say, okay, cool. There's a roller to the left. There's a sniper top right, or whatever. Like that helped out a lot more, and we would win most of our games. Obviously, it's hard because we had 2 other people that were on chat with us. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It was still fun, and I can't wait till it comes out because I'm unlike ARMS. I think I would actually play this one a lot more. Because once I got ARMS, I kind of just stopped.
Yeah, it seems like really cool. I can't wait for it to come out and do well. I love the first one, and it's honestly, like it's too bad the Nintendo Switch is so hard to come by right now. Because
is it still? That's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't really played much else, but I did pre-order Agents of Mayhem.
Oh yeah,
I want to play that game.
Yeah,
and what is it?
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. What else am I looking forward to this year?
I need to look it up again because like I was debating on getting it.
Yeah, it's like a single player Overwatch. It's like basically how people have described it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that sounds really cool and fun.
Yeah.
You like just grab a team of 3 characters and like run missions.
Oh, and you switch between them, right?
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yeah,
that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, like one of them is this girl with like a minigun and roller, like she's like a roller derby girl. And so like she moves like on like skates, mobility. Right? And then like and she's got this like fat minigun, it's just like doing a ton of damage. And then there's like another girl who can like teleport around. There's this dude who's got like a roadhog hook, I think. Etc. Like that's sort of like
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like if you have those 3 on a team, that's like way different than like if you had like the guy who can
Yeah.
do this one thing and this other girl with another, whatever. Like, I don't know, it seems fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I can't wait to hear about that. When's it coming out?
Your mic is tripping out now.
Is it?
Yeah, I hope it's recording fine.
I think it's fine on my end. That you can't hear anything.
I can understand you because I'm using context.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to end it here then.
I think we should call the show.
Yeah,
you're cutting out.
That's what I said.
Okay. I didn't hear that.
Okay, so thank you for listening to our Binch Bros podcast, everybody. Apologies again for the technical difficulties, but we'll try to get that fixed. But yeah, bye.
Oh, bye.